Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gupta series here on the Lord Master channel. And I would like to apologize for going on such a long hiatus from this particular series because I was mainly focusing on Europa Universalis 4 with the two ongoing video series of Croatia and Mughals, well, Delhi Mughals to be exact. That, well, it's because one, doing an entire series of the two EU4 series is just something that's totally original on this channel. And whereas I've done many playthroughs of CK2 here, and so it was alluring. Even though both of those series are now going to start to begin to wind down a little, and so is we're winding down here on the Gupta series as well. Because you see the digital empires, we still need parts of Rajasthan, which I have that title of the Empire of Rajasthan, which I had to switch it because I like the color, because it's close to the saffron color, which is, you know, a pious symbol for Indians. I mean, there's a bunch of meanings behind the color saffron, which I won't go into full detail here because honestly, it's been a while since I've looked it up because I'm so used to, you know, because of that Mughal series, I'm used to playing, you know, an Indian Sultanate, and now here is a good old, you know, traditional Indian empire in medieval India, obviously. But now, I would like to say that for the future of Crusader Kings in the Lord Master channel, don't expect a big, like 10, 20 more episodes of Gupta upcoming. No. Because I still want to go out on my own terms, and that is unite all of India, basically show your decisions here. Becomes Samrat Chakravartin, which got to complete that. These tiles will be forfeit, then the Empire of India will be created. That is the single most major goal of any Indian series, practically. But once that ends, with the becoming the Samrat Chakravartin of India, that I will be going on a, one would say, another hiatus from Crusader Kings. Well, not necessarily, because, you know, we still have a yet to be determined when will the next DLC for Crusader Kings 3 be released, because I have not done a video on Crusader Kings 3 since the end of the Bosnia playthrough back in March of 2021. And it feels like I've been gone for a lifetime because, you know, a lot of things happen to me personally, which is mostly positive, don't get me wrong. And as well as, you know, doing all this EU4 series and a tiny little spin-off, well, not necessarily spin-off, but short series involving Prussia, Sogdia, and even the Delhi Sultanate here in Crusader Kings 2 with Razia Sultana, and then and all that. But still, it's just I just feel like, man, I missed this game, even though it's only going to be for a short term because I have to finish this series because, you know, I'm committed to it. And I really hate myself when I don't finish some of my most committed projects, so to speak. And but I already have an idea. I mean, it's for the Crusader Kings 3 future playthrough on the channel when their DLC comes out. I already have an idea of sorts of what that next Crusader Kings playthrough is going to be like. When the Royal Court DLC, that's what it's called, Royal Court, when it comes out. I already have an idea of it, but I can tell you this, it's not going to be in India. I did a little too much of that in terms of, you know, you did Delhi Sultanate, you're going to finish up Gupta soon, even though it's going to take about a few episodes, and you're doing the Mughal series over in EU4. I think you've been in India enough for the rest of this year. Alright. So, the only hint I will give you of what that upcoming series may take place in for Crusader Kings 3 is it'll be in Europe. Just back in good old Europe. Why would you say good old Europe? You know what you mean. But anyways, and words are lost because earlier, prior to recording, I did one more thing before we finally get on with this episode. I finally took some Bengali lessons. Not because of your request of you people. It's because I kept saying numerous times throughout the series that I said, I don't know Bengali, I don't know a single word of Bengali. But now, I only learned 2 sentences, which should only be relevant because of the ruler here. Samrat Bhairav Singh of the Gupta Empire, who has no children as of yet. Because, you know, I just really want to bring up the speed again. And plus, I did watch the previous episode before recording this, so now I'm a little bit more up to speed. Such as how our capital, Patliputra, in Magadha, had been sacked by raiders, as that looted thing is still there. Although we're prospering again, but hopefully this looted modifier will go away soon. Which I don't know where it will say that. But nonetheless, we just, it's like, yes, we're recovering from a raid. Oh, here it is. It'll finally go back to normalcy in a few months' time. By August 31st. Oh, by the way, this, I just recorded this episode yesterday, so you are watching this on a Monday or some later date, obviously. So, August 31st, and on September 1st, one more thing regarding Crusader Kings 3. This September 1st is the 1-year anniversary of Crusader Kings 3. So, no, there's not going to be a 1-year anniversary special or whatever of me playing that old game again, because I'm currently committed to my ongoing video series. And, okay, I'm serious. One last thing about CK3. When I ended the Bosnian series, this was before the Northern Lords DLC came out, so I wasn't there for that because I was committed with the Prussian series and the Sogdian series and the Delhi Sultanate mini-series featuring Razia Sultana. But now I'm back here because I want to finish this series so I could put this to bed and subsequently put those other 2 EU4 series to bed as well. And I may get largely a break. And when I start recording that future CK3 series, that will be the only series I will work on. It will not be concurrent with some of the other ones. It'll give me an easy time on the work schedule, so I'll be less stressed. So now at the political situation at hand, the Rashtrakuta are currently at war with the Caliphate over there. And they are winning so far, because they want Saurashtra. They need to retake this area. If successful, my truce will not expire until later this decade, in which I want Durvaka, to be exact, the Anarta, that part of Gujarat. And then we'll have to subsequently take Stravani. And then we need to take control of the rest of Trigata. Once it's all accomplished, the Empire of India will be formed. And that'll be the end of the series. But it's going to happen around the next century, early next century, in the thousands. So all I could say is for Samrat Bhairav Singh, even though he's currently a chaste, trusting man, who is also greedy and envious, but he's brave. He needs to get rid of those negative traits. And that is why he is the member of the Advaita Mata. Yes, because he needs to, well, basically be a holy man in addition to be a warrior, but he's not necessarily a holy warrior, so to speak. But there's one problem about this man, for those that don't recall the previous episodes. He's a poet too, but he's got a lisp. He got that from his mother, I believe. No? Because I could have sworn Thought got it from another descendant. Who married somebody who had a list. Ah, yes, come on, Aryan Pala. Died long ago, but I think that list may have came from him. I mean, father didn't get the lisp, but we got this. So that's -1 diplomacy, but it is compensated by being a poet. But his base diplomacy isn't good, but we could get more diplomacy skill if we can get rid of those 2 negative traits. And that's what he's here for. Sponsor the university and sponsor that as well. And I will begin secluded meditation. So seclude himself and meditate upon the life and the universe to move closer towards spiritual enlightenment. Again, we can't go to war because we'll be breaking a truce unless something happens to him. Then again, he's vulnerable for assassination plots, which means, yeah, I could kill him if I want to, but not right now, because if I declare war against him immediately, my vassals' war against them will end. So I need for them to do the work for me. That's what vassals are for. Now, let's begin. Of course, my diplomacy will be knocked down a little, because today my seclusion begins. I've selected a simple chamber in the palace where I will spend most of my time during the coming months. Within those bare walls I shall do my mantras, read the Mahabharata, and contemplate my life and actions. Vishnu shall be my companion. Yeah, why not get the cavalry up? Needs to be even. Sure. And add a little significant status of women. Which, you know, what that means is that women can now be chancellors and stewards. So the grand official power allowed to hold public offices. And that's what I will do. So, we already have a female as a chancellor, only because she's a nun, Imperial Courtier, and Wolf's Blood. Which again, it was related to the predecessor, because that man is the founder of the Golden Blood of Rudra Narayan the Just. He's a merchant of up here, able to sell sand to desert dwellers. Lady Luck will certainly continue to watch over his descendants. So these are the benefits I get now, all thanks to him. Even though he passed away due to depression. He didn't commit suicide or depression, he just died of depression. Which, by the way, he got depression after somebody, I forget the name, he antagonized him. And he couldn't take it. He just died of depression. The words hurt him. And you know, he was a Buddhist, too. And I do remember this saying from the Buddha. Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world. I still remember that quote when I used to play Civilization 4 back then. Good memories. And let's hope for some good more memories of this. And at the same time, I am currently spying on Rajkumar Padma Singh, my brother who is my rival, who is also depressed. I don't want to assassinate him because I don't want to be a kinslayer. It's not good to be killing your kinsman, unless you're a Muslim, for succession reasons. I mean, he's a capable commander, Imperial Guard, I can respect him that, but that man, he needs to be put out of the competition on the line of succession. I mean, should he kill me, he'll be taking over. But my problem with him is he's less diplomatic That would cause instability of the empire. While he is better, but he's not much of a military man himself. Not to mention paranoid. It could mess with him mentally. Anyways, our latest reports on Magadha tell of increased tensions between the migrants and the dwellers of the province. I may fund a policy of approachment between the both groups or face a real possibility of a degradation of the conditions in the province. There's a small migration community of foreign individuals at Kingdom Magadha. Oh yeah, we have this garden, which I don't have the money to build up to the next stage, but I will very soon. Well, it's gonna take time. Again, you've been sacked by raiders. I'll fund a policy of recruitment. So I just want to get back up to speed with everything. Turn off that auto stop plots. So that way, in case my brother does something, lads, and say, going to assassinate me, we'll arrest him. Don't want to lose that. Yeah, getting all these notifications, all that. Oh heck. Can they hold the line? The Caliph is here. I cannot make sense of this passage of the Mahabharata. The words are archaic and their meaning is deeply hidden by the copious layers of symbolism. It would greatly benefit my spiritual development if I discovered Texas and somehow. Though at this point, perhaps I would be better of asking my Upadhyaya. But yeah, there's no shame in asking for help. Land is plain, so it's even ground. Being proud is not at the coordinates with the four Parusatas, so I decided to ask the Upadhyaya, Lakshmana Singdev, for help. He was happily surprised by my request, and together we proceeded to unravel the wordings of the passage. With him, his patience guidance, I managed to make sense of it at the end. The wisdom of Vishnu is infinite and indisputable. So he manages to explain the passage to me. And get well soon on that flu of yours. Even though he's an embarrassed believer. They're retreating, but reinforcements just arrived. But unfortunately, the Rashtrakuta Kingdom forces are going to have to withdraw. We're going to have to retreat, I should say. Don't you have any allies? No, you don't. You're alone on this issue. A large cistern was discovered in Janot, here. It seems that it's been used by ancient peoples to collect rainwater. As it is still in relatively good condition, the locals plan to refurbish and use it. Perhaps we can lend some funds to help them in this endeavor. The economic and social benefits would be considerable. For God's sakes, I'm trying to raise some more money. For 20 years, I will fully fund their efforts. And I will be a leader who cares, which adds more diplomacy, so I guess it's better that way. Because this one's just for 2 years, and this is for 4 years of this effect. I just picked up a trait, and that's charitable, which is the opposite of greedy. Alright, you are progressing well, so that means you have even more diplomacy. More diplomacy means you have a increased, not only monthly prestige for each one of it, but also general opinion. I mean, not all vassals are friendly with me. Today it is raining, yet the sun is still shining. Amazing sight. Meditation related. I know that Adi Shankara was a paragon of temperance. However, I struggle to control my appetite. While in meditation, I'm supposed to eat very simple food in small portions, but I'm growing weary. I cannot concentrate when my stomach rumbles like this. I don't think I'm that confident about trying to beat this with the fast. But I'll just do this. After a little treat, I shall return to my duties with a doubled focus. 65% chance dealing with the vice by practicing moderately without getting noticed, but a 35% chance attempting to practice the vice moderately, but it is not quite enough to restore focus. Oh gosh. Situation between the migrant community in Magadha and the local populations passed through a period of deep mistrust. This leads to the decrease of the stability in the province. There goes more of my money. Organize a great communal meeting to improve the situation. Unfortunately, we just lost the blasted prosperity peaceful province. I waited until midnight before I made my way to the kitchens. I found some of my favorite treats in one of the pantries. After many days on the most dairy diets, they tasted like the most delicious food I've ever eaten. My appetite is satiated for now, and no one is the wiser. That was exactly what I needed, so I make some progress in the meditation. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation brings ignorance. Know well what leads you forward, and know what holds you back. That's another Buddha quote that I actually memorized. Again, from Civilization 4 when you research the meditation tech. But keep in mind, he's a Hindu, not a Buddhist. Father is a Buddhist. My brother is a Buddhist. Hari Singh is a Buddhist. But I'm a Hindu. Because there needs to be a Hindu revival. That's why. As I decided to place the crown focus on Magadha, the whole council started to devise ways to improve the provincial stability. The efforts are paid off now, as the situation on the terrain improved markedly. Very well. Back to peaceful province. Oh yeah, supposed to be rebuilding all this too. You need to get that trade value up. I already have my steward assigned to oversee construction to build things faster. Renewed jihad. The House of Islam is under grave threat from the onslaught of heathens and infidels in its very heartlands. In response, His Magnificence Caliph al-Muti has declared an era of renewed jihad is upon the world. The core regions of Dar al-Islam must be retaken at all costs. All righteous Muslim men should prepare to join the ranks of the Mujahideen for the upcoming struggles. This signals a renewed era of Islamic expansion. This is because of the Jerusalem situation here. That's why. Kingdom of Jerusalem. Ran by a German who is currently infirm. Disturbing news. The Bektashi order. The Sufi sect of dervishes have arisen under the leadership of a certain Haji Baktash Wali, a mystic from Khorasan, striving for unity of being. Bektashis train the soul through meditation and contemplation of the inner meaning of the Quran. The Bektashi order is warlike, and especially popular among Sunni Muslim soldiers. The order is sworn to protect Islam and to combat infidels and polytheists of all kinds. Istic soldiers, the Arsia, a group of Khazars have formed themselves into a military order, have taken the name of the Arsia, originally mercenaries in the service of the Khazar Khaganate. The Arsia were sworn to never fight fellow Muslims and formed an important part of the Khazar military. Now reborn, they are ready to serve Sunni lords against their religious enemies. There's still Zoroastrians around, they're just not as prominent as they once was. Am I crazy, or... I mean, again, seeing the you know, a separate Arabia. Whereas the Caliphate itself, which has expanded its borders as far north as... I was about to say, where's Kiev? Oh, no. Kiev's over there. That's of Russia. Not far from Tula. It's because of Armenia, that's why. Anyways, there's a bountiful well of wisdom in the Mahabharata. Today I've uncovered new meanings in several passages which I have previously never given much thought. I shall take these lessons to heart and carry them with me, no matter where life takes me. Mark my words, the Mahabharata is truly the book of wonders. Vishnu has shown me the light. Having trouble? If I had a lot of money, I would have definitely sent you mercenaries. My wife finally finished her education. I noticed the point that she attained nothing less than a masterful level of knowledge. Excellent. Yajnavati, Lightfoot leader. Quick-minded, ambitious, diligent, and trusting. You already have trusting. See if I can make you charitable as well. Guess not. And are you... I don't know if you're going to keep that brilliant strategist education. It could be replaced because you are a female. It's part of the rules in this HIP mod, or was it the Dark Ages mod? It's one of these mods. No, it's Dark Ages mod, where female generals are rare. What we mean is that women with martial education and they retain it is rare unless the country has a full status of women. Oh dear. Armed thugs attacked me while investigating the ruin of the plot of Magadha. I barely escaped with my life and now I'm severely wounded. That was signed by my spy master. Sinister forces are at work. My mother just died. Died a natural death at 67, just before, you know, I don't know. Anyways, despite my mother's death, today has been a day of new insights and revelations. In my seclusion, I had plenty of time to think about my actions, my life, and my place in this world. Things I never thought about before suddenly became so clear. Vishnu has shown me the light again. Despite my mother's passing, but at least she passed away peacefully. Whereas I am in meditation, in peace, with hopefully my inner self. And hopefully get rid of those sins of mine. My knowledge of laws has convinced me that I should write a law code for my realm that may organize all the different local norms into a more coherent narrative. I mean, after all, I believe yes, we forgot about Bharat Singh. He is the first Samrat to be an academy graduate, or graduated from the Imperial Academy. And what did he learn? The Nemean philosophy, a school of philosophy. It's a fictional philosophy, keep that in mind. And he's also the Doctor of Law, as he's achieved considerable knowledge in the field of law. That's why the high diplomacy. That is the reason why Father, while he was a Buddhist, and he's allowed to designate an heir, that's why he chose Bharat Singh. Because not only he's the youngest, but he's also most evenly skilled. Although the stewardship could use a little work in the future. So let's see how this goes. I'm not having much luck at spying on the Rajkumar Padma Singh. Perhaps I should focus my efforts elsewhere. No. Now he's up to something. I'm sure he's up to something, so we'll continue to spy on Padma Singh. Peace be upon you, Chhatrabharat Singh. We are pleased with your progress. During the time you've spent in contemplative seclusion, you have taken a great step on the path of the four Parusattas. We hereby declare your mission completed. Signed, Archa Lakshmana Singdev, who is, by the way, my Aporeya. He's the Pujari of Gaia. You honor me, Archaya. At least I've charitable. Keep in mind, Bharat Singh has been ruling since 986. There are many legends about a great man whose blood I share. A particular story has been circulating at court lately. It focuses on an epic feat where Gopala proves the strength of character. The more I hear, the more I wish to emulate him. You know, the guy who founded the Pala bloodline, founder of the Pala dynasty, it seems he wasn't a nice guy. But I'll say no, I make my own fate. Save that book, sell the pile of lumber. Not again. Peaceful province gone. Oh, he's got the strong trait, so he's going to be around for a while longer. Maybe I should write a letter to Maharaj Kanchana to try to convince him of my good intentions. I will charm him with my elegant writing, as I am a poet. Use my extensive literary knowledge to write a very flattering letter to the Maharaj. He wrote me back, expressing how touched he was by my wonderful message about peace and friendship. Wonderful. Upgrade this more. Cartographer gone. Keep in mind, I still have my court guru, even though he's getting sick, I could see. I'll put you there simply for the sake of it. Oh yes, I forgot. You are not only my military tutor, treasury guard, and commander. You're a Jain Dingambar. I just noticed why you are not wearing your clothes. I'm like, oh yes, I forgot. Dingambara Jainism. The Skyclad. Anyways, my overseer presents me with plans to provide just cause for our actions in one of my restless provinces. The plan details our positions from a cultural and religious standpoints, aiming to establish bonds between myself and the malcontents. All this relies on the knowledge of my overseer and the ability to communicate clearly with the rebels. Now I am the one deciding. Yes, I made you the domain overseer, which he's from Ratsakonda. He's Buddhist. So I'll say go ahead, because you've got the learning skill and I have the support of it. Wait a minute, what? Oh yeah, these guys. Working in the shadows, Yajnavati, with the aid of some of the aides of the ill repute, has managed to acquire several items. Items which my rivals and foes would sorely miss. Very good. Got the money. Mission successful. The masterful way my overseer explained our points of view in religious and cultural angles to the rebels in my province was the cause of the success of the whole mission. It is always superlative when we can build bridges in this way, increasing the harmony in the territories. This is a total success. The mission was an outstanding success. The conditions upon returned immediately to normal, even if it was rebellious before. Kudsinagara is no longer a restless province, thanks to him. There you go. And we build a keep here just to prevent all this from happening again. Now let's build up the next stage of this great garden of Magadha. And Magadha is a peaceful province once again. And hopefully it better stay peaceful. It'll take 14 years and 8 months for this second stage to be finished. Many months after I started my book, I finally managed to get it around to other scholars. They unanimously asked me to burn the copies before anyone finds out how bad it is. Well, I thought it was good. I wrote a confusing law code. Eek, that hurts. No need for any convoluted plot, merely attacking Ekshid's Subjugant's character. That's the man that antagonized my father who died of depression. That's the guy. Yeah. The so-called conqueror. Yeah, it'll be worth it. Let everybody in the Gupta Empire know. Instruct all town criers across my realm to mock and insult him on behalf, besmirching his good goddamn name and antagonizing him in the process. His good goddamn name. I was a bit distracted when I handled my buzzard to a courtier. I was watching another one of my birds, who were about to catch another rabbit, and I did not realize that the eager courtier had no clue of what to do with the buzzard. It did not end well. The bird was lost. This is by another one of my Imperial Guards, Commander. This is the last time I trust someone with my birds. Devabuti was supposed to give my buzzard to the falconer, but slipped and lost his grip of the bird and escaped. I will never see her again. All of the Gupta Empire is laughing at the Ekshid, yet from what I hear, he's completely unmoved by my slandering campaign. Perhaps I should try something more personal. Keep in mind, the man's a Sogdian. That's the reason why the name Ekshid is there. He was the House Ghaznavati, he was originally Turkic. Was he Turkic? Subjugant. Yes, Subjugant is a Turkic name. But he's culturally Sogdian that he changed, oddly enough. There are rumors that certain tax collectors in my realm are disgustingly corrupt. Unfortunately, I don't have any good evidence to back this up, even after a lengthy investigation. Still, the commoners are convinced otherwise. If I don't do something, they might grow restless. On the other hand, imprisoning the officials without the cause would be problematic as well. Well, crud. You anger the peasants for 3 years. National revolt risk will be everywhere. Even though it's still minor, but still. The ones that are least prosperous and the most unstable of provinces. We may have to put down these peasant revolts ourselves, or the vassals will do that if it's in their jurisdiction. I will not bow to the demands of the arrogant peasants. So I became proud. Good for prestige, but not good on my permanent record. Plus you got too many traits, so I lost charitable. I will finally be promoted to Pandit. The Archaya has contacted me. You still have the flu? And also you're wounded for whatever reason. Any rivals? Ah. Since he doesn't have a scar trait, so this is the first time he's been wounded. Anyways, he contacted me asking if I have any interest in learning more about roses. Apparently his latest achievement involves a dark red berry, mixed with a particular type of yellow wild rose. Oh, I must simply have some. Send someone to collect these roses. My wife and I have been unable to conceive a child. And now everyone believes I'm impotent. We only need to try more. Oh my goodness. Some vassals, courtiers. Who else? Yeah, some of vassals and courtiers now dislike me for slightly for 3 years. They tell me the Samrat is not a real man. And yes, you even say that too, that I'm not a real man. Who are you to tell me that? And you want me to meditate more? Okay. Wait! Sell the lumber. There's one way. And you tell me I'm unable to conceive a child. I guess they say that because I'm 30 years old. And my wife's 17. And that's the reason why I want a child as soon as possible. Just get rid of this guy. If I'm unable to get rid of him, if I don't get a child by the time I turn 35, switch to family. Diwali feast. It's a chance. Sorry, there was something in my cup. To properly celebrate the seasonal feast, I should invite all of my vassals. I have my scribe write the letters and send them off. The messenger's satchels decorated with flowers. It will be a grand feast. All the vassals will be there. In the Indian autumn feast, tradition dictates that I offer a gift to my spouse. I should plan for this and buy something before the feast begins. A jeweled necklace would be perfect. Another reason why we have a child. Says pushed me too hard. And also I wrote a confusing law code, which is understandable. I found nothing new and useful about Padma Singh, but as my shady informer pointed out, there is nothing preventing me from making stuff up. The bigger the lie. He doesn't have it yet, so this may sound something ridiculous. How about a classic? He takes little boys to bed. People are such gullible fools. I've gained a deceitful trait. Oh, stop it! You need to get rid of that trait. I only did it because I just want him to make sure that he did something bad in his life. The Duke Tunus, Duke of Yarlum, up there, who's a Manichaean. He's sycophants to torment me once more, spreading vile rumors about me. Everybody at court is whispering how I am unable to ever see past my own selfish interests, even when doing so causes harm to my friends and family. I know exactly what he was trying to do, so I pretend to ignore his slander and focus on avoiding collateral damage by him. The roses I sent have now been planted in my own gardens. Their beauty is spreading joy to anybody who passes by them. What a true marvel of Brahma. Receives my thanks. The Avaita Mata be praised. The castle is decorated with flowers and colorful tapestries, carpets and ribbons. All the guests arrive and there's a bustle of people, all eager and full of festive spirit. It is time for the feast to begin. Welcome all. And now I'm a pandit. Not gonna get much devotion, but as a pandit I increase a little bit of piety and learning. It's a wonder how I'm meditating. No, you're not meditating yet. You're doing Diwali first. At the feast, it's time for the traditional ceremony gifts. My wife is overjoyed with a magnificent gift. You sure? She's not my lover, but she's grateful. The darkest night of the Diwali is here. The most important night of the feast. Candles and lamps are lit everywhere. The guests stroll across the painted and decorated floor, wearing colorful dress. Rich and sweet food is served, and a drink is also plentiful. Rama and Lakshmi are honored, celebrating the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and hope over despair. Let us celebrate. Hope you have what it takes. The feast is over, but it was a fantastic feast. As the guests make their way home, I sit down and smile to myself, pleased at how things turned out. Should do this again next year. So, in a dungeon. Heck, put him under house arrest. Unless you want to ransom him. No interest. Looks so comely. Which is hidden from the world at large, so he's a bit more attractive. Should look at the factions. Friendly. The court faction is opposed. Okay. I'll start swaying you then, to try to please you a little. In fact, I'll give you honorary, never... Wait. You got good diplomacy. Okay, you know what? You be the designated regent. Boy, I look forward to having minor titles again in Crusader Kings 3 in the upcoming update and DLC. I mean, that's what I read last time on one of those dev diaries. My vassal, you lost the war, didn't you? Yes, you did. It's a request that a lower rank vassal should serve him rather than me directly. Who are you talking about? You gave the Beku here. Even though I still hold this area because it's home of the spice plantations. That's where I get my money from. But I'll say that impress him with vague promises. So he's impressed by my flattery. Another way of telling him no. Oh boy. The hospital in Simarampura has seen an increased amount of people looking for food and shelter lately. It could barely provide the food required as it is. Perhaps it's a good opportunity to make an impression. Yeah, I got the money. I shall make preparations at once. Prepare food and supplies to be handed out as charity. Again, it's in Simarampura. Alms and other supplies have been brought to the hospital. It will make the life much easier for those in need. The question now is how to present this extraordinary gift. Well, let me tell you. Brahma made it possible. Not zealous, though. And the mayor feels I risk too much of my escapades. Escapades. Is that how you pronounce that? And try to persuade me to stop risking my life. But it's such a thrill. Because that man envies my bravery. While outside one day, enjoying the unusually pleasant weather, I've come across a small pond surrounded by large boulders. On those rocks happen to be large layers of moss. Enough, it seems, for a good nap. Take a nap, admire the scenery, relax a bit. Power naps for about a year. Naps. That reminds me. Meditation. I will not take a vow of celibacy until I have a child. But the problem is, the combination of being a member of the Advaita Mata and chaste really reduces my chances of having children. What can I possibly do to endear the Maharaja to me? I'm not particularly experienced in making people like me, but it cannot be that hard. Well, since I'm a man of deceit, the guy is silver-tongued, I will teach him how to deal with his enemies. So I will write a long list of suggestions explaining all the many terrifying ways a good Samrat deters treason from his subjects, and it will hopefully sway to my cause. He just picked up the cruel trait, so that means yes. The Maharaja seemed to have been put off a bit by my thoughtful present. Nevertheless, he thanked me for taking the time to prepare. How nice of him. Holo's charm. That means she passed on. And guess what? You're the Chancellor now. Where is it? Ah, here it is. This charm was worn by Holo and she left it behind when she disappeared. It is a memento of her time with everyone. Unfortunately, it will remain inactive because it only means something to our friends and family. Probably means to my father, but not to me, unfortunately. Oh, and also another thing. Another thing that I'm really happy that in the upcoming CK2 update, in the DLC, that they'll have artifacts again. Not to mention the World Throne and all that. Again, you can look it up on the dev diaries if you could catch up and all that. Oh, here's the opposite. I immediately sought him out to request his aid. It seems I caught him at a bad time. However, he agreed with some discernible reluctance. He had no patience with me. When I failed to keep up, I left in anger. He's the ignorant one. But to be fair, the man's got internal flu and wounds. Caught him at a bad time. He's like, this flu won't go away. Just checking. The Protector General of the West Protector decreed that the fury of heaven shall rain down upon the chief earldom of Iokos. The Chinese armies have begun their march, and the chief, if not hiding out Iokos, can only hope to stand tall, as his borders are attacked with the full wrath of the Yan Empire. This could get ugly. Oh, do this again. Success. Hey, you Indo-Greek. Apparently you finally changed your culture to Orient. And this man here is a Berber giant. Who was already married, but unfortunately he must divorce. Well, it doesn't matter, he's celibate. Jayan Greek. Jayan Greek. Jayan Greek. Jayan Greek. And yet, that man, who is a court physician, and he's the heir to the monastery of Jharkhand. That's what the title is. One of the 2 theocracy vassals I have. And the man's having chest pains. Anyways, thanks to my connections, I was able to get in contact with a blackguard hiding in the exit's court. The man assures me that for a reasonable fee he will all be too willing to undermine his authority and so to set among his subjects. I need only but to decide what I want him to. Well, he's currently at war with one of my Indian subjects. Cause unrest in his realm. Will attempt to rile up subjects against him. The world's a dangerous place, and devious plots are everywhere. Rumors have reached me that people are conspiring to kill me. I must be careful. I know it's you. You planned to kill me. And you aspire to be a poet. Listen, if I found out that you're responsible for this, I will put a bounty on you. Or, alternately, go on a war focus and duel you. But I do not want to kill you. Easiest thing in the world to be assassinated, but I don't want that kid-slaying trait in my conscience. And we can't arrest him because he hasn't done anything wrong. Unfortunately, it appears the black guy was captured, put under torture, and he revealed the name of his employer to the exit, who now made the entire plot public. Well, he should have died before talking. Son of a beeswax. I've learned that the Maharaj denounced me harshly at the faction meeting in Svataka Mandala. They swallowed up his words. He is the leader of the Prosperity faction. Curses! Hold on. Oh. I watched from the shadows of my spy master. Surreptitiously marked a spot on the wall with a piece of chalk. This might be his normal skullduggery, but my intuition says not. Oh boy. Time to spy on the spy. I can't stop thinking about all those prisoners in my dungeon. They are my complete mercy. What a thrill it would be to hurt them, to hear the sweet screams, to see the panic in their eyes. Oh, I gotta resist my fall impulses. I'm trying to be a good man here. Eavesdropping from a secret passage in the walls, I overheard my faithless spy master talking to another conspirator. They're plotting to revoke the Dekana of Cultivasra. Hold off, I will deal with this later. Well, it's irrelevant now because it's just ended. You have a plot. Listen. Back off your plot to kill Padma Singh, my rival and my brother. Yeah, sure. I'll see what I can do. On a visit to a village of my realm, I am talking with a guardsman stationed there. He looks around, eyes fearful, and he tells me, if you have to travel these parts, by the Supreme, stay on the roads. The wilderness just isn't safe anymore. We had sightings, you see. The demons. Demons? Are you talking about the Vinyakas? Well, let me see. I mean, I'll try to be zealous, and I'm a bit half and half morally. Half and half. Used to be deceitful, but I'm trusting these days. And I'm trying to meditate here. So I will say, it doesn't matter, you make small gains anyhow, but I'll say this. If demons are about, there are no match for brave men like you. By the way, that entire conversation right there, that's a reference to Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Love that game. This is part of the Viet Advents mod. That's why there's references. And recently they added some Oblivion references on that same similar mod over on Crusader Kings 3. And yes, I will use a few mods for that upcoming series. Some of the ones that I've used previously in Bosnia. I spent the entire day saying mantras in deep concentration. During the first hours, I've noticed nothing out of the ordinary. Though at some point I lost track of time and entered a dream-like state. There was nothing but holy words passing through my lips, and they rang true as the sweetest music. Vishnu has shown me the light. Who are you requesting? Hang on. What do you mean? Talk about Nandala, who serves directly under me. And you want these two. Ah, okay. He can have a vassal for a favor. Yeah, you got it. So now you serve him directly, as it should be. How the heck is this land independent? Oh, crud. It's them again. I don't know if these are the guys that are responsible for raiding us, but we gotta get the army together. We'll deal with this tiny little conflict for this city. What have you done? What have you done to Gaia? So I shall visit the Martha where the feat's being accomplished. They'll ruin everything. There's a bountiful well of wisdom, Mahabharata. Today I've uncovered new meanings in several passages which previously never gave much thought. I shall take these lessons to heart and carry them with me no matter where life takes me. Mark my words, the Mahabharata is truly the book of wonders. Escorted through the gardens of the monastery, I immediately spot the work of Brother Durvida. The roses are a delicate mixture of red and yellow. The way sunset in the center. They're beautiful, my escort nods. Offered me a small sweep. They're a little cramped over there. Would you mind helping out? Should I really be a gardener? Because honestly, I'm kind of saving that for another lifestyle trait. But then again, I'm a military man at heart, so... I'll just say, thank you, but no thanks. These are marvelous, though. So, see the letter of compliments. No need to be a gardener. That's enough forces. The army will be led by Padma Singh. Hope you get killed. Wishful thinking, I said. Hope you get killed, even though he's a skilled fighter. Imperial Guard. We gave him a chainmail armor and a bow as his personal weapon. My goodness, this man's got a high martial skill. Unyielding, so he's doing well in the defense. Legendary commander. Member of the Ring of Honor. And stay out. Damn it, he didn't get killed. I await the day. Now head to Gaia. We gotta get that city back. And give it to Pushyamitra. He's about to have another kingdom into his collection. Your honor me, our child. Meditation complete. And now we will declare war. Gaia Holdings, get that city back. assault. My wish to become a better Hindu led me to the forced Parusatas. In attempts to become more like Adi Shakara, I've strived to think less of myself and more of others. The sense of pride which once shackled me is gone. Praise be Vishnu. Now I have 4 traits. Now I need to get rid of envy. My lord, Rajkumar Padma Singh informs us of the capture of an enemy commander. Desires to know what would be done with him. Oh, you mean the mayor? He's not a commander, he's a mayor. Just tell him to leave him at peace. Nobody will be imprisoned. We'll just say, hey, we assaulted this area. Took a few casualties on assaulting. The city of the garrison. The garrison of the city, excuse me. Fought well. And now the city is yours. My spies have collected enough information on Padma Singh's comings and goings that the plot against him should have a much better chance of success. Excellent. Send word that my information can be used in a plot against him. So it's like, yeah, you fought well as a commander, but I still want to get rid of you. Even though he's depressed, I don't know what will get him first. This or depression. Needs a little more backers. Yeah, I figured it's about time to compose a book. To compose a work of literature is not an undertaking for all. Having spent a lot of time thinking it over, I have summoned my closest advisors to fetch the best scribes. When they asked me what this work should be focused on, I paused, but only for a second. Naturally, I go for this, but I want something else. Should be about the intricacies of relationships, so it's either diplomacy or intrigue related. Good on you. Is there a bar to mock him in Magadha? But that spy master of yours. You should start swaying him, or give him something. Like he can be the royal builder. Need to get him to be more positive. So that way he doesn't kill me. In fact, here's a better way. Send alcohol gift. Much better. And also we should have a private conversation. I will invite him to meet me in the vineyard in the Magadha garden and have a private conversation with him. See what happens. Rajkumar Padma Singh has declined my invitation to meet in seclusion in the vineyard of the Magadha garden. That's too bad. Chick, you know what? Next time we have a private conversation, do it with your wife. My wife. As we've yet to have any children. Nothing wrong with her, it's just... Some people think I'm just not a real man. And I wrote a confusing law code. We're just gonna stick with me for a while. Ah. My liege. As you no doubt well know, I and those vassals of your vassals who are part of my faction are your loyal subjects. To show our devotion, we have decided to host a grand banquet at Tripuri to honor your rule. Excellent. Here we go again. Oh wow, you accomplished. Now you expanded the territories that's beyond India. What the heck was I gonna do? People say that I'm not a real man? Oh, dang it. It's November. The ex-ship thoroughly hates me now, likely wishes me dead. The feeling, of course, is mutual. My work of him is done. Okay, I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna start antagonizing Padma Singh. I know this is where it's gonna end up. Truce hasn't expired yet. Oh gosh. The internal circumstances in Magadha took a turn for the worse. Thanks to a myriad of factors, conditions are now set to increase the likelihood of reduced stability in the province. From now on, you have increased possibility of experiencing bad stability events. Use the crown focus, which is still there, to solve the situation faster, or wait till the condition ends by itself. He sent his sycophants tormenting once, mocking me and my religion, spreading lies about how we worship demons and commit unspeakable acts to please Brahman. How dare he? Don't know who that is, but I'll show you. Sure. Check the plots. Is there any of them that relates to me? There's that one for Padma Singh. No, not a single plot against me. Good. I was approached with Gupta, try to convince me to join his vile heresy. Hope you could convince him of some sense. Well, he's an old Buddhist. Just let it slide. Doesn't matter. He's just a commander. News have arrived about the migrants in Magadha. Seems they are in the process of being assimilated by the culture and the religion of the province. Thus the size of the group is getting smaller. So they're fully assimilated. They're gone now. Now all we got is a volatile province. That needs to be addressed quickly. Otherwise bad is gonna happen. That man is absent-minded. The brat has lost cause. You sure anybody wants him? I've been told by the Maharaja that the days of Sabha are numbered. A man on the inside of the prison where she will arrange a prison break that will sadly result in a fatality. Classic. Oh yes, that's for the other plot that I'm backing. Even though, did we just... It's not worth banishing. And plus, what was she in for? Because she's been in prison for 5 years. Ah, convicted apostate. And people's like, no, she should be put to death. Must learn on your own. Needs new chancellor. Oh gosh. Give it to my... Well, no, my brother is a decadent fool. Because he's a hedonist imperial courtier, fat, and follows the Chavaka philosophy. That man's a lost cause. Give it someone who's skilled to keep your vassals happy. My council has grown increasingly concerned at the fact that Samrajni Yajnavati still provided me no children. Despite the two of me being healthy and able, at first I waved away their concerns. Perhaps they are right. Of course they are right. People are telling me that I'm not a man. Well, speaking of manhood, want to prove it? Go out on the tiger hunt. It's not only a noble sport, but also an occasion to meet my vassal and forge bonds of friendship and discuss important business. On this same day, we will organize a tiger hunt, and I will invite my vassal to enjoy this occasion with me. Send riders invitations. Except for Jayans, like the Jayan Greeks down there. They don't hunt tigers because that goes against their religion. Hey, Patap, Punjabi man. I'll ask my physician to investigate. Ask him to look into Yajnavati's state of health, even though she looks fine to me. Although she's a woman of intrigue. Of course, brother hates me and you rather live your own sad, hedonistic lifestyle. I say sad, it's like, man, this is what you do for a living? Be glad that you're not the Samrat. Who else isn't coming? After so many days of tests upon poor Samaraji Yajavati, Partap came to me this morning and says there's nothing wrong with her, or with me for that matter. He gives me a potion to invigorate my loins and says it will simply take time. Let's hope the potion works, because it's for a couple of months. Adds more fertility and more health. Oh, I would increase that right now. The hunters and their respective entourages have gathered at the hunting camp. Retainers are available to see my every need. The soldiers will be useful for both guarding the camp and for flushing out any tigers. This should be a fine day. Can't wait! The hunting party moves through the jungle, hoping luck to find a tiger to kill. Suddenly there's a movement in the underbrush, and a large tiger springs out, roaring furiously. It attacks the hunting party, striking at one of the servants, ripping him into shreds before disappearing in the jungle again. No! Knowledge is power. After pursuing some old texts brought by a savvy merchant, given my extensive culture and inquisitive mind, I could buy some of them in order to study and attempt to increase in area knowledge. What will I do? This is best needed. I'll pick the diplomatic parchments, so I'll be learning for about a year. Failed hunt. No tigers were slain. This is an ill omen for the realm. I vow to return and have better luck next time. That's unfortunate. The mayor would be a better steward than him. Doesn't affect. Just give him a chance. Let him get well soon. Peaceful province again in Magadha, but it's still volatile. And it's a cloudy summer. That's about to end soon. Oh, that's a pretty sizable country. Buddhists. Yeah, this is what it consists of. Anyways, during my wife's recent visit to Paro, we had a great time, discussed the similarities between our people. I suggest a non-aggression pact between us for the near future, and welcome any visitors from the realm with open arms. Wonderful idea. The Beko gets a claim on him. What the heck? My spies collect enough information to be a much better chance of success. Where are we? Plot power is now 51. Let's hold another Diwali feast. See if I can make her my lover. He's not going to be here. And yet they call him the strong. Still having chest pains. Good boy. Plus, what kind of name is that? Outraged at me. Okay, I'll start appealing to you. Gotta start pleasing you. The only problem is you're a Buddhist and I'm a Hindu. These religious differences, and also I'm uncouth because I live a warrior's lifestyle and all that. There is a way. Yes, there is a way. Where is that book? Kama Sutra, here it is. This is plus 25 fertility. Why didn't you think of that earlier? In fact, you own 2 Kama Sutra books. What's the difference? Well, one was created this long ago, and it's from that same century. One came from the Nagrata and the others from the Bhikkhu. What the heck? I have another Kama Sutra book. This one used to be from the mayor. And another Kama Sutra book from a Pujari. So yeah, why didn't you think of that earlier? Wait a minute, is it possible? Alright, the book I just took off was To the Beautiful Kumara Devi. And this is for fertility, but a lot of increased sex appeal. Where's the other books that are equipped? I got an idea. Stack them. Yeah, take that off and put this on. Now you got plus 50 fertility. Oh my goodness, you have 4 Kama Sutra books, and if you can equip all 4 of these, you will be the most, well, I was about to say fertile man, but clearly there's something going on in the mind of that man. It's hilarious when you think about it. Because I mean, just at least one child is good enough for me. The Art of War, getting that off too. +75 fertility. But where's the, I mean... that's the other Kama Sutra book that has not been equipped yet, but where's the 4th book that I have equipped? But boy, my wife is really gonna love me now with that on feudal warfare. Aha! Back up. Here it is. Now you got plus 100 fertility and plus 80 sex appeal. How do you like me now? Why did you think of that? Forget the family focus. You got the Kama Sutra. But of course, taking off all these other books can have some flaws, such as lower diplomacy or whatever you had prior. I will keep that on until I have a legitimate son or daughter. Doesn't matter because, you know, agnatic cognatic succession. Just want one legitimate child. Then that's it. Rajkumar Padma Singh's already a sobbing wreck with little love for his own life. I'm certain that with the right words I'll be able to push him over the edge. I don't know if that'll be wise. Because, you know, he's mad enough. I mean, I am equipped with those weapons that increases my personal combat skill. Golden Scimitar, Champion, Angelic Guardian. That's my armor. But I'm a skilled tactician, skilled fighter. Okay. He didn't get mad enough for me to ask for a duel. Okay, you got it. You're the new steward. Yo, do not speak of me of obligations and duties. I may be your vassal, but it does not make me your slave. I am within my full right to associate whichever faction I wish. That little... You know what? You're the new steward. Just to please you a little. While attending prayer one early morning, I noticed my brother Bhopal drowsing off in his seat. Meanwhile, our fellow members of the Vaitamat are deep in their contemplation, do not see even notice yet. I should wake up before anyone catches on. I gently prodded Bhopal, but I get no reaction. Then I shoved my elbow to his side, causing him to cough, and opened his eyes, flashing anger in them. His face turns as he blinks, the situation dawning on him suddenly. Thank you, he mumbled sheepishly. It seems I saved you for some real embarrassment there. You need to give these favors to me. You got a lot of money. Repay the favor. Ask for gold. After a long afternoon of some pleasantries and idle talk, even after waiting longer for a late dinner, my request for financial help was well received and the results speak for themselves. Yeah, you got your vassals back. Hope you're happy now. Well, one was an independent entity. No, not buy. Repay. Need to ask for piety. Your request will take a little while longer. And as for this man, to know who he is, I'll repay the favor with... Oh, just give me some money. Here's some more negative money for you. love saying that word, negative money. Meditation again. Well, I would, but not now. Let's have a private conversation between me and the Samrajini. The Bajari saw no merits in my request and won't act on a favor he owes me. Furthermore, he considers an act of simply looking into such disgusting matters I ask a favor being repaid. The ingrate. Alright. Samrajini Ajanavati of the Gupta Empire accepted my invitation to meet seclusion of the vineyard in the Magadha garden. After some time talking... This is what happens when you have a high intrigue. You can get your dagger out and try to stab her in the heart. This is an example. Basically, straight up murder the person. But since I want children, through her, I will try to seduce her. I do not know how she will react if I try to kiss her, but we might become lovers. This is a surefire way to get children, despite me being chased. See how she responds. She blinks in surprise and as I step close to her, but when I move to caress her cheek, I catch a glint of steel in the woman's hand. You are going to use that on me? Oh, hell. Oh, hell. I mean, after all, she's a woman of intrigue. She's allowed something like that. Hey, you want a son. I do too. And then you decide to... Ah! Oh, God. I won't go down without a fight. Huh. We fight each other, but in the end I prevail and bury my dagger in her chest. I leave Yajnavaiti lie on the ground, a pool of blood forming around her. Well, so be it then. Screw it, I'll take up Manhood. No. I don't want the Empire to be ruled by a damn fool. Yes, I have the option to... I mean, look, I'm not depressed. It's like I was going to kiss her cheek and she says, yeah, don't do that. When I'm like, I'm going... Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's end the episode on that note. That was kind of... I don't know. Tragic? I mean, who the hell can resist the charms of Bhairav Singh? But apparently she did. Was murdered. Quote unquote murdered. It doesn't say murdered by who. The cause of death says was murdered. That's the official cause of death. Compare that to murdered on the orders of, or complications from tiny stature because she's tiny. Her mother was. What is your sister like? Oh. But too bad she's already married. Wish I could get rid of this goof. I mean, I could, you know, attempt murder, but why on earth would you want to do that? I'm sure you'll find a better woman in the next episode. You will find a true girl of your dreams. So it was quite an interesting episode. So yeah, I'm happy to be back. At least for the last couple of episodes of the Gupta series. So we hope you people will join us in the next episode. And we hope we'll find our one true love. But until then, so long for now.